everybody, my name is InspirAspir and welcome back to my Launchpad Light Effect tutorial series. This is a series where I show you guys different light effects and you can follow along so you can make them. Today, we'll be making this effect. This was requested by one of you guys. I'll put your name up on the screen. Thank you so much for recommending this. I like it. It's a good effect. I like to use it for build-ups kind of thing. I usually like to have a pulse go out, and then I usually repeat it to the beat of a hit, so it kind of has this energetic but bouncy feel to it. And if you kind of get creative with how you use it, and if you keep using multiple effects over and over again, in rapid succession, but changing the colors, you can make something like this. So once again, the skeleton of the light effect is this. And I'll make this and you can follow along. So that was my demo track, the screen one up here. I'm going to go ahead and solo this second MIDI track, this red one. All that does is, it just means we have a blank slate. If I press play, nothing will show up. And we're only going to be working with this. So this is set up with my Launchpad Pro, we're good to go. So let's jump right into it. I like to divide this up into kind of two sections. I like to think of this right half and this left half. So we'll start on the right half, just for the sake of it. And we're going to start with these two middle notes. For now, I'll just kind of focus on this top right 4x4 square. So we'll start with this note right here. We'll draw it in. All I'm doing is I have this headphone, this headphone icon clicked, so that way I can press a button and then press the right arrow key on my computer and it'll draw it in. So the next frame we're going to draw this note, and this note. So we just moved up this diagonal. Alright? And then once we reach here, we're going to actually move to these two notes. And then after these two notes, we're going to hit these two, and then these two. So we moved up, and now we're kind of split in half and we're moving back down. And now once we get to here, we're going to use these two notes. And then from these, we're going to move up their diagonals here, and then from these notes, we're going to move here. So it kind of makes this, it shoots up here, it splits in half, shoots back down, and then it keeps snaking around. That's what gives it, it's a bit fast. Let's speed that, or slow it down, excuse me. Yeah, so that's what gives it this little snaky, bouncy effect. For now, we won't worry about the side buttons. I'll get to that later on. Let's worry about this bottom right 4x4 grid. We're going to start at the very beginning, and I'm going to make my grid smaller. I did that by pressing Command 2 on my Mac. Made the grid smaller, so we're working with the same grid size. We're going to do the same thing, but kind of flipped to down here. So we're going to start at this bottom right center button, move down this diagonal. Once we get down to here, we're going to press these two, and these two. Remember, when I'm pressing a button, I'm just pressing the right arrow key on my computer and it just automatically draws it in. And so we move down and then snaked back up to here. So now we're going to move to these two, these two, these two. So it shoots down, splits in half, kind of snakes around. So when we play what we have right now, everything lines up and that's good to go. At this point, I'm going to highlight everything I have. Just highlight everything, and I'm going to hold the Alt key, click and drag just somewhere, and I'm going to press down here this inverse button. And now I'm going to line it up so that these match like this, so it's nice and symmetrical. If you were to draw a line in between the G3 and the G sharp key, if you were to draw a line right here, it's symmetrical along that line. And you get this effect once you play it. Which I think is nice, and it's a good start. So now, if you want to use the side buttons, then we can go ahead and do that. If you have the Mark II S or the Mini, you won't have these buttons. These side 16 right here, these 8. You'll only have these. So in theory, you could still make the same effect, but it just won't look as symmetrical. So if you have those launch pads, maybe you'll just want to make this and then kind of tweak it from there. But for those of you who have the Launchpad Pro, and these all 4 8 buttons. And if you happen to have the plugin that lets you light up this top row, then I'm going to show you how you can kind of proceed further. If you don't know about this top row, how to light up the top row on your Launchpad Pro, I have a video. I'll go ahead and put a link up. You can click it, check that out. So, assuming you know how to use it, we'll move on. We'll proceed further. So I'm going to click at the end of all of our notes. Click it so this orange vertical line is at the end of our notes. And now I'm going to focus on these side 8, for now at least. So as you can see, if I slow it down, all I'm doing is lowering my BPM to slow down my effect. It snakes around and it stops right here. So then, to continue this snaking pattern, we're going to have it move up from this side button and up, and then from this side button down, if that makes any sense. We'll just do that anyways, and you'll see in a second. So we're going to click this, and we're just going to follow along. So I just ruined these 4 notes in succession. I just clicked here, 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 and then made those light up. And now I'm clicking back at the very beginning where this one started, and we're going to press this button and then move down. So once the lights reach here, once they snake around and reach here, then they move to here and split. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing on this bottom row, starting at the same time as this row. So we're going to click right over here, so it starts at the same spot. You can see where my mouse is right now. And then we're going to draw these in like so, so it splits off just like it does up here at the same time. Easy enough. Now we're going to do the same thing on this right side. I won't go too in-depth with it because I think you get the pattern. The problem with these is you can't necessarily just copy and inverse it like I do with the bulk of the Launchpad, because these 3 rows represent, or these 3 kind of triangle patterns represent these 3 side lines. But in order to draw on this top row, you have to go all the way down to here. This is the first right here, this B0. This is the first light in this row, which is a bit weird, but you can just go ahead and copy this triangle pattern and paste it down here. So that way this last note is lined up right here. If you have this blue headphone icon turned on like I recommended you do, you can see where the notes are as you click and drag. You can see I'm clicking and dragging my notes, and you can see where it lights up. So I'm just going to light it up right up the entire row, if that makes any sense. And then you're left with this pattern. At this point, of course, I usually tell you guys you can change it however you want, because there's not much fun in copying something to be completely identical. I see the appeal, but maybe you'll want to change it up, so maybe you can add like a fading effect, give it a nice smooth finish to it. Maybe you can drag it out so it lights everything up, and then it slowly disappears. As you saw in the very beginning, I made a rainbow. I can do that by putting in all my rainbow colors, starting at 5, moving up to 9, 13, 21, 29, 37, 41, and then let's just do like 45 or something. Something real quick to get a simple rainbow effect, and it actually looks really nice. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. This was just another light effect tutorial for you guys. I really like making them for you, so if you have any recommendations or you're curious how to make any certain light effects, go ahead and put a comment in the description right now and say, hey, how about, this effect at this time in this video? And that way I'll get a better understanding of what you're talking about, and maybe I'll make a tutorial on it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace. I can fly.